Hello, arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Tonight we're doing my 88th Chillin' Chat live on a Sunday evening, talking home arcade with you guys out there in the audience, in the chat. Let's say hi to everyone who's made it so far. I'm in my new apartment, same floor plan as before, but it's facing the north rather than the south, so everything's going to be opposite. But other than that, it's the same exact floor plan. We're actually going to look at it a little bit tonight, do like a live tour of the arcade and what I've gotten set up so far. Been spending all day really setting the arcade back up, getting my computer all set back up for live streaming, and really didn't have a lot prepared for tonight. I don't have like a ton, to show you guys, so it's just going to kind of be winging it tonight. And we're just going to talk home arcade. We're going to talk three major subjects. I want to talk Arcade 1-Up, AtGames, and New Wave Toys. I've also got another camera set up, guys, which we can use for the tour, where I can show you my new apartment, what I've done with it, where I'm placing everything. We can kind of do that towards the end of the show. But we'll start with the news. We'll start with the products, the things we enjoy talking about, which is, new stuff coming out. And we'll start with that tonight. But I want to say hi first to everyone who's in the chat. You guys also let me know, do I sound all right? I'm in a different room where I have like a door here on my left side now rather than it being open to the living room. So I feel like there's a little bit of an echo. But you guys let me know, are you hearing any echo? How does the mic sound? B. Kirby's here. He's saying emoji. Good to see you. What is that? Hang 10. Good to see you, buddy. Brooklyn Menace is here with his emojis. Always good to see Brooklyn VR channel. Awesome VR channel. Go check them out. Video Game Vegas. Hey, all. Hello, all. What the hell? Brooklyn Menace has escaped from VR to join the stream. Absolutely. I always see him streaming VR. Good to see him come and hang out with us tonight. Carl O is here as well. Hi, Biggie D in chat. Good to see you, Carl O. Glad you made it tonight. And Brooklyn saying he escaped just in time for Chillin' Chat. And Don't Tell Me Biggie is late for his own stream. So I'm using this new camera here, guys, where I was setting up. Basically, it's my cell phone. Allows me to get a second view of the room and not use my internet signal. I'm using the data off of my cell phone for this second camera. So we'll see how this works out. But earlier, whenever I was about to go live, just right before the stream, I noticed the sound from the intro was coming out of the cell phone. So I had to run outside and get like a auxiliary to micro USB adapter. And I put that in there and that seems to work. So I can't hear that. And we're not going to get any interference on the audio. Mikey's here. He's saying, what's up, fellas? Good to see Mikey. Been playing some mini golf with him in VR. Always good to see him in the chat. And let's see here. Video Game Vegas says, maybe if we all meet Biggie in VR, we can join. Let me put on my Apple Vision Pro to test. I've heard a little bit about the Apple Vision Pro. I know it didn't make it. It was very expensive, but it looked pretty cool. It looked like the mixed reality was really good on Apple. Hobby Monsters here saying, just in time, LOL. Good to see you. Mr. Paradise, he's saying just beat Spatial Ops in VR. Amazing. Spatial Ops in VR. I have this game. Actually was gifted to me by GeForce guy out in the community, in the VR community. Gifted me this Spatial Ops game. I have not played it yet. I'm looking forward to getting into it, though. It looks really cool. You have like combat in your living room or in your bedroom, wherever you're playing VR. And it kind of makes that like an obstacle course and like an area where you can do this gaming, like where you're basically shooting guns at each other. I'll have to check it out. Looks really cool. I've heard Brooklyn Menace talk a lot about it, so I got to check that game out. Israel Gaming's here. He's saying, what's up, Biggie D and the Home Arcade crew? Good to see you. MSU Rich is here saying, good evening, everyone. Good to see you, MSU Rich. Thor KC, what's up, Biggie? Good to see you. Rexer Show's here as well. He's got something to say. He says, I just came here to talk about Arcade 1-Up and the year of rehash. It's super interesting to me. Yeah, that's basically what this year is going to be about. And that's what we're going to go over here. I think we'll start with Arcade 1-Up. We might as well. They just don't have anything new coming. It's just going to be re-releases. I wouldn't even say rehashes because they're not making any changes to these cabinets in any way. They're just a re-release of what they've already released in the past. And that's going to be this year. And I want to start with Arcade 1-Up. So thanks for bringing that up. Thumper Squid's here. He's saying, hello, wonderful gamers. Awesome to see everybody in the chat. So let's get going, guys. I want to, and I don't have a lot of prepared, so I don't have the slides like I normally do. I moved all last weekend. Throughout the week, I've got this new job, and this new job really takes up a lot of my time. You know, when I thought I was taking a work from home job, I thought I was going to have tons of available time to make videos and content. And I had that in my previous job, but this new job, they really put me to work. They keep me super busy, which is good because, I mean, that's where you're most profitable. That's also where the company is best, is when, you know, your employees are engaged. They're doing work throughout the entire day to help move the company forward. And that's the position I'm in now. I have a lot more responsibility, and I'm basically in charge of like a large number of attorneys throughout the city of Phoenix to make sure like all their computers work, their printers work, their cell phones, any technology that they use, TVs, meeting rooms, all that. I have to make sure, and I'm the only person here in Phoenix that can do that for them. So there's a lot riding on my shoulders to make sure this stuff happens. So it really takes a lot of time away from me making content, I've noticed. So it's going to be more exclusive to the weekends, I think, that I'm going to be able to get this stuff done. And I didn't even get a chance to really start setting up the arcade until yesterday. And that's when I started getting everything unboxed, put in a place where I wanted it. And then today I was hanging the marquees, unboxing, you know, the smaller micro arcades, the New Wave toys, putting them all in their places, finding all the cords, everything that I need to plug them in. So I didn't prepare any slides. I don't have like a huge amount of time I put into the stream tonight. So like I said, I'm just winging it tonight. But what I want to do is I want to bring up this website here. This is At Home Arcades. This is my channel. So if you guys ever want to see, you know, what live streams are going on, or you want to see past live streams, this is a great place to go. It has all of them in here. But I want to go through some websites with you guys tonight. The first one I wanted to go was Arcade 1-Up. And right now they're doing a Valentine's sale because it's Valentine's weekend. And you guys have probably heard about this, but it's not great deals. You know, it's just like it's been since they started re-releasing cabinets, where they're just not marking a whole lot off. You may get like $50 off. So on like Pac-Man Deluxe Arcade, you're getting $50 off it. Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe, $50 off that one. Class of 81 Deluxe, $50 off. This one that kind of stuck out to me, this Wheel of Fortune Casinocade, it's at $350, so you're getting a sizable amount off right now, $150 off. But again, I don't think anybody was really high on the Casinocade, and I don't think I'm going to be getting one, even if it was like $200. I don't really see a price where I would get one. So there's just not really a lot of deals to be had right now. But there was a video that I had watched this week. It was Michael B., the Game Genie. And he was talking about Arcade 1-Up and, you know, 2025 and where things are heading and, you know, what they're going to be doing and their focus is going to be this year. And it was really kind of the whole point of the video, and kind of what I took from it was like Fast and the Furious is going to be their re-release for the first quarter. And then, you know, second quarter, they're going to be re-releasing other cabinets. And it sounded like it's just going to be the Pac-Man and the Miss Pac-Man. And unfortunately, these are going to be like your classic edition cabinets. So it's going to be like your Walmart editions. And we can take a look at, you know, what those look like. I'm sure you guys have seen these. I've actually bought a couple myself. But they're less expensive, no marquee, no riser, and they come in at a price of like $299. So let's take a look here at your classic edition right here. So this is it here, Mortal Kombat 299. It sounded like they didn't buy a bunch more or release a bunch more of the Mortal Kombat. It looks like Walmart is going to be re-releasing or buying up the Pac-Man Classic and the Miss Pac-Man Classic. So that's going to be like that blue and yellow. So it's kind of looks like this one here, yellow, and then a blue Miss Pac-Man Classic. Let's see if I can find a Walmart website here that will show those. So here's the black one like mine. That's the one you're going to see directly behind me, but that's not the one that you're going to find in store that they've re-released. It's going to be the yellow and blue one. And I don't seem to be finding even that cabinet online. And that might be why they're restocking, is they're just out of stock on those. But expect to see soon more of the yellow and blue Miss Pac-Man at Walmart coming up. And that's pretty much what's going on with Arcade 1-Up right now. There's just not a lot new coming from them. I started thinking, like what could be some possible cabinets that we could be seeing from them coming up. And I thought maybe the T2 cabinet was a good one. Like if they're going to just re-release a cabinet for this year, I would thought the T2 because it gives you the guns. A lot of people like to mod the T2, especially with the Mystery Encoder mod that released. It allows you to sideload games onto it. So I thought T2 would be a good one. But I also thought Blitz would be an excellent cabinet if they're going to re-release a cabinet as Blitz, because we have the Mystery Encoder mod on it as well. So will that happen? I don't know, and I don't think it's very likely. You would think if they're going to re-release a cabinet, it would be one of the ones we see on the website currently. And like Fast and the Furious, it's always been on the website. I've never seen them take it off of the website. So it makes a lot of sense that they re-release that one. But like, for instance, the T2, which I'd like to see them re-release. I don't see it on here. And I also do not see the Blitz cabinet as well. So is that an indication that they're not going to re-release that cabinet? I mean, that could be. But like Golden Tee is high likelihood that we'll see them order some more of those. And I'd like to see them do the Mortal Kombat. This is like one cabinet here. Like I felt like if I was going to get another Arcade 1-Up right now, which I'd like to have, a Mortal Kombat cabinet, this would be probably one I would move on. And I've seen it as low as $399. But if they got it down to say like $299 or even $350 and it was available at like major retailers at that price, I'd probably move on it just to add it to my collection, because I've got the Marvel arcades, I've got the Fighting Killer Instinct, and I may get that Street Fighter from John's company from Iconic Arcade. So Mortal Kombat's really going to be the only arcade that I can think of that I really need or that I would want from Arcade 1-Up. So this may happen, but the only way we're going to get this price down below the $450 or even less, $399, $350 is if they order a bunch of them. Like if you guys remember when I used to cover Home Arcade for the first year or so, it was deals after deals after deals. Every week we would just talk about all these amazing prices, and it was a lot of fun to do that. But as the products have slowed and they haven't released anything new, they haven't produced as much, it's given us less opportunity to get those extreme savings and to get the really good deals. So the only, I think, opportunity we're going to get to see that again is if they just produce a bunch of new cabinets, which it sounds like, they produced a bunch more Fast and the Furious cabinets. They're going to be doing a lot more Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. But whatever they do next, I think that's, going to be ones that, I would want them to make something that I want to buy, which would be Mortal Kombat or something entirely new, which I just don't think they're going to be doing anything entirely new. I think it's all going to be re-releases, or it's going to be rehashes, which are going to be like your NBA Jam Slim Edition, like this, where they're making slight modifications to the design, the form factor, but it's the same game, same games lineup. That's high, that could be highly possible as well. So those are just some thoughts on Arcade 1-Up, going into, the second quarter of 2025 is just a bunch more re-releases. And, what are those going to be? It's anyone's guess, but I think your highest likelihood for a re-release coming next, it's probably the Golden Tee 35th Anniversary Deluxe. And that's it right there, right? Time Crisis, yes, we'd like to see them make some more of those, but at that price tag of $750, it didn't really sell well. I don't see them making more of those or selling more of those to these retailers, or even retailers wanting to buy them, unfortunately. So it's that time for Arcade 1-Up. I mean, we've been seeing it in the videos and the content people have been making that have connections with Arcade 1-Up. They're in a lot of debt. They're borrowed a lot of money. They're having problems paying that money off. They're just really trying to keep their head above water right now. So it's, I think they're still the leader. They're still the most profitable home arcade company. They still have a lot of the licenses we want to see them make, or they already have made them. We just want to see something new. I think that's the key, is something new. And I just don't think we're going to be getting that anytime soon. So let's see what the chat here has to say. Mikey is saying, congrats on the successful move, Biggie. That's awesome. Good to see Mikey in the chat. He's saying, nice to see you're busy with work. Hope to play some mini golf with you soon. I was thinking about maybe we should play some mini golf tonight after the stream. So if you guys are down for that, we can get together and do some mini golf tonight. GeForce Guy's here. He says, hey, Biggie, curious, what are your thoughts on selling all of your 1-Ups and just getting 2 to 3 media 1-Ups and skinning them? So I've gotten such extremely good deals on all my Arcade 1-Up cabinets. I've gone through these prices with people a lot on these streams in the past. I'll run through them really quick with you guys now. So the Countercade Miss Pac-Man, I paid $75 for it. Paid $150 for Marvel Superheroes. I paid $150 for Killer Instinct. I paid $75 for Final Fight. I paid $150 for I paid $199 for Miss Pac-Man. That's one of my most expensive. And then the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I paid $350 for. So all of my Arcade 1-Ups, even my Attack from Mars Pinball out in the living room, I only paid $350 for that. I really have gotten really good deals on all my stuff. So I don't think I'll be selling anything, because I just, I enjoy the look of it. I enjoy having an arcade in my home. And I just don't, think that I really want to offload any of these. I definitely want to get a Media 1-Up Street Fighter XXL. I definitely want to get one of those. I have not bought a Street Fighter cabinet. So right now is really the perfect time to get one through Iconic Arcade. And it's, I'll still have room. And towards the end of the stream, we're going to go out in the living room. I'm going to show you guys the apartment. You guys will see what kind of room I'm working with. This apartment's a little bigger too than my last one. So I've got plenty of room for more arcades if I want to bring them in. And I don't really need to sell them to bring more in. And I don't really want to sell these. I like them. I got a good deal on them. I feel like they've all been a great value for me. Mikey's saying, yeah, more Pac-Man. That's what we're going to be seeing here in Q2 from Arcade 1-Up is Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man, not the Countercade, the Classic Edition cabinets at Arcade 1-Up. Thumper Squid saying, I'm down to 7 Arcade 1-Ups. He's sold 5 in the last 2 months. So 7's a good number, right? I have in this room behind me 7 arcades, right? If you count the Countercade. That's a good number, and I've got an Ultimate Legends upstairs, and I've got a virtual pinball Arcade 1-Up Attack from Mars. And that's a good number. Like I don't want to have a ton of cabinets, 7 to 10 cabinets are plenty. GeForce guy saying that MK is worth $199 maybe. Dudes Arcade says, what was that sniper cab that you scrolled by? Sniper cab. Let's see. Was that on Google? You have to tell me, Dudes Arcade. Was that on Google search? Let's see if I can find that. Let's bring that back up here. So I didn't see a sniper cabinet. Maybe I'm missing it. Let's see. So this was interesting too, guys, is like, what if they brought back this Joust? The 14-in-1 Midway Legacy Joust cabinet without a riser in the deluxe form factor, rehashing Joust. They have the Midway license. Would you guys be interested in that? Would you buy a deluxe version of Joust? Because that is one thing that Arcade 1UP can hang their hat on, is that they do have the Midway license. And even John D had discussed that whenever he had his stream recently, was that is one license he can't touch right now, is Midway. And Arcade 1UP does have that. I think that's what they need to utilize, and that's what they need to focus on, are Midway cabinets. Joust, Mortal Kombat 2, but what other ones could they do? There's a lot that they could do with that Midway license. Let's see. Ritual Delo's here. He's saying, evening all. Happy Sunday. Good to see you, Ritual Delo. Glad you made it to the stream tonight. B. Kirby. He's saying, I don't see them remaking any of those slim cabs again. You can't get those, or you can't even give those away. That is true. The slim editions have not, I don't think, sold well, and I don't think people have been too happy or been wanting to run out and get those. Video Game Vegas says the Joust is amazing looking. It just came with a bum monitor, right? So that's one way that they can kind of give us a reason or incentivize us to go out and get the Joust, is to not do what they did before with that TN monitor, but do a deluxe without the riser and with that BOE screen. I think that would be enough to maybe get some people to pull the trigger. Like me, I'm looking for a Midway cabinet. I'm looking for a Mortal Kombat cabinet. But Joust would be nice too. Have that artwork. I think it looks really good. So let's, we were talking Arcade 1UP. There's just not a ton to talk about with them. Even though I really enjoy their products, they're just not releasing anything new. Their sales are not that great. There's not really a lot of deals to be had on them right now because there's just not a ton of inventory out there. They're just not making a whole bunch right now for us to get those extreme savings, those great prices to be excited about. So there's just not a ton for Arcade 1UP. But let's talk about some AtGames. There is some AtGames news that we can discuss tonight. And really, it's going to be the NOD February sale that's going on right now, as well as they've got some new releases coming. So we'll look at the calendar. We'll go over that as well and see what we have coming at the end of this month. But right now, there's National Owners Day going on right now, and I looked through these prices. Now, something I wanted to tell you guys is I've been very interested in, because really there's only one product right now in the home arcade community that's really exciting, something that I really want to run out and get, and that's going to be the AtGames Legends Pinball 4KP. I really want to get one of these. But the price is so damn high. I mean, you're talking $1,250 to $2,000 to get one of these, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's 3-4 times as much as what we've been paying in the past for like Arcade 1UP cabinets, and even their Legends Ultimate I got at $300. So going out spending $1,250 up to $2,000 if you want the SSF kit. It's just a really hard pill to swallow. It's a lot of money to spend on a toy, something you absolutely don't have to have. And I've been very close, and just going out and getting it because I'm making a little bit better money now. I also paid off my credit card, did some things like that to position myself to go out and get one. So I was probably going to get one this month, actually. And even if the deals weren't that great during NOD, I probably would have gotten one, but I had some car issues, and I had to spend over $3,000 in the last couple of weeks on my car to fix it. It's paid off, So I was like, it's better just to put that money back into my vehicle that's already paid off and fix it rather than going to get a new car. So I just spent $3,000. So really all the money that I had to work with to get something like this was all spent on something I had to have, something that I needed, which was transportation. So I'm out of the market now on getting anything like this, in this price range for a while, probably till at least summer, maybe even fall. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But maybe it is a good thing, in a way that I'm not buying it right now, because I don't think that this is the time, if you're wanting to save money, to go out and get one of these. I think we're still too early in the product. We also have the really high prices on shipping, and them bringing this stuff overseas is going to be even more expensive, possibly with tariffs, things like that. This just may not be the time to get a product like this for me, even if I had the money, so maybe I, dodged a bullet, and I'll get this, maybe in November of this year around Black Friday and get an extremely good deal and be happy with my purchase. But let's take a look at this. So really this NOD 2025, you're not really getting any money off, it doesn't look like, on the machines at all. There are referral codes out there, like Papa Brad's Gaming. I see him in the chat. He's got a $50 off referral code that you guys can use, and that will save you guys some money. But there's not really any savings to be had even with NOD. Looks like the Premium Deluxe is $2,000. The Premium Standard is $1,500. Jurassic Park has always seemed to be the least expensive. Let's see what they're going. So $1,250 for the Premium Starter. Premium Starter with SSF kit, $1,750. So these just aren't really deals. They're making it look like a deal because you got these February NOD sale going on, but you're not really getting any money off unless you use the referral codes. So probably not a good time for me to get one of these. Also, these lackluster other deals, even on these older products, you're only getting $100 off the micro pinball. You can get a mini HD $399, $219 for the Legends Gamer Pro. So one thing about this, I already own this product, and I was watching Michael B this week, and I noticed he's got the pedestal, for one of these, and he set up the big screen TV behind him, and just really kind of makes me want to get the pedestal for my Legends Gamer Pro and maybe go out and get a nice TV, because TVs aren't expensive now, and set up like a big screen arcade setup. I just think that would be really cool. So I may end up doing that, with this time where I'm not buying arcades. Also, I was looking at this BIT LCD HD for my Ultimate Legends, and it's just so expensive. $350 is its MSRP, and they're only giving you 9% off at $319.99. It's like $320 just for this marquee. I could probably go spend $320 on a TV and get a really nice TV. So I'm going to pass on that. Now, if you're looking for pinball packs, if you're a current owner already, unlike me, I don't own any of the pinball machines yet. But if you do, it looks like you can save some money on some of these. I was interested in, maybe picking up the new Natural History pack for my Legends Ultimate, but it doesn't play on the Legends Ultimate. This one here. Unfortunately, it does not play on the arcade. It only plays on the Pinball HD. So this I would have been interested in maybe picking up right now, but since it won't play on my arcade, even with the pinball buttons, I'm not going to do it. Now, this is interesting. I feel like, with Rare, this is some news coming up with AtGames, is that the Rare pinball pack, it only came with Sea of Thieves, but you guys look for Killer Instinct and Battletoads to drop here very soon. So let's take a look at that calendar, because they have already hinted at that coming here, I think, in the next week. We don't have an exact date on when those new Rare games will hit, but it's looking like they're going to be possibly announced or coming out next week. And that's right here. So there's this Zancore Deluxe Magic Pixel pinball table that just dropped this last week. It dropped on Thursday. You guys may have been seeing a lot of videos on that table that just released. Looks pretty good. Now on the 19th, which is going to be on Wednesday, there's going to be a new Zen Studios Legends single pack release. Now what's really interesting about these now is we're not seeing the actual title anymore. They are not allowed, I don't think, under Zen, and kind of like the mix-up they had with Tomb Raider and that Zen pinball pack. I don't think they're allowed now to announce what table is coming until the day it releases. So Zen's kind of pulled back the reins and said, you know what, AtGames, we're not going to allow you to have that ability to tell your customers which games are coming out until the day it releases. So we don't know what the single pack will be, but we did know that there were some Williams tables coming. There were Star Wars tables coming as well, but the Star Wars were packs. So this is a single pack. So I don't know what this is going to be. It's probably going to be a Williams table, I would guess, but we won't know until the 19th, which is Wednesday. Now it says to be confirmed, and this is for the Battletoads. This is for the Killer Instinct. That rare pinball pack, the rest of it, is going to likely be announced or released between February 19th and February 26th. So sometime within the next week and a half, we're going to get confirmation on those and hopefully an idea of what those tables look like and how they play. Now it says to be confirmed. It doesn't say pinball. Here it says 4K pinball table releases. So this is just pinball, it looks like. But I'm interested to see, when are they going to release Killer Instinct? When are they going to release Battletoads for the Legends Ultimate? And are those going to be available on the older models or only that new CE HD that released at Sam's recently? So that's news that I'm waiting to hear on and I'm interested to hear about. And then on the 26th, we're getting the new Zen Studios Legends single pack release. That's another single pack. So again, maybe not Star Wars. Maybe they're not getting Star Wars now as soon as we thought, after that mix-up with Tomb Raider pinball and them announcing that and leaking that before it was supposed to be announced. And then Primal Carnage. Primal Carnage is a Magic Pixel, I believe, pinball table coming on the 27th. So you got 2 new Magic Pixels, 2 new Zen tables releasing here in the next couple weeks, plus this Nod Owner's Day sale going on right now, which we just skimmed over. Doesn't look that great. Would not be, super excited about those deals going on. But I did want to look at this. So talking about AtGames, and I think this is what most people are really waiting on, they want to get some news on, is going to be this Legends Ultimate. And I saw Michael B. He released a video today about it, in fact. This Legends Ultimate 4KP. It was supposed to come in Q4 of 2024. So we are now well past that date. And we did see them add to the website on the menu a Legends Ultimate 4KP option on the menu of the website. And that may have been a mix-up. They probably shouldn't have done that quite yet because they haven't even announced the product other than just these teases that came last year. So I think this is getting very close. I think this is going to be announced here very soon. Not in February, but maybe March, maybe April. And there's probably going to be some changes, I think. I don't think we're going to get exactly what we were seeing last year in these images. Hopefully they've made some changes to the artwork. And hopefully they've added some more games. Hopefully it's not just Killer Instinct, Battletoads, Sea of Thieves. I would like to see them, and I'd shown this in the thumbnail, is, Rare has a very large library of games, like classic games that they could include on these AtGames devices, on these arcades, on the pinball machines for us to play. There was a rare collection that came out recently, that they could potentially get, called this rare replay. So, could they end up getting this full list of games, from 1983 all the way to 2008? I think all these games here would play on the new Legends Ultimate 4KP. And could they get this full list of games? That would be really cool if they could. A lot of these games, they came out on Nintendo 64, systems like that. Are they going to be able to run on that chipset? I think that they would. So some interesting things coming up for AtGames for sure. And I think there's been a lot of silence from them recently. We haven't got a lot of news from them. And that's really because that whole mix-up with the Zen and the Tomb Raider. You guys remember, what was it, last month? They released that schedule for all the pinball tables for 2025. Actually, it might have been right around New Year's that they did that. It had Star Wars. It had a ton of Williams tables. And it also had that Tomb Raider, which was unannounced until it was announced on that calendar and that schedule for 2025. And ever since that happened and that whole mix-up happened, they've really been quiet. They haven't really been telling us much. Even on the new promotions like the February calendar, it's very limited on what we know now. And that's, I think, build up too. Like, there's a lot about to be released. We're not going to know about it until very soon before. And that's by design, because they've kind of burned their bridge with Zen and that whole Tomb Raider deal. Fourth Horseman's here. He's saying the releases are so slow, I'm losing interest in those arcades. The $700 arcades are just too much when I can find real arcades for not much more. And I do hear you, Fourth Horseman. $700 is a lot, like for the iconic arcade for Street Fighter. It is a Raspberry Pi, which is nothing new. It's not like, we haven't seen that before. So I understand what you're saying. $700 is a lot of money. And real arcades, you can get a real arcade for that amount. But the deal is, like, I live in an apartment. I don't have a ton of room for real arcades. I just moved from an apartment to another apartment within the same apartment complex. So it's like, that has to happen every, 2 or 3 years typically, unless you're a homeowner. You have to move. And moving real full-size arcades are just sometimes not an option or unaffordable because you have to pay movers. Or if you're going to do it yourself, you got to get your friends involved, and it's going to be a big job to get those moved. With these home arcades, that's not the case. Most of what I have in my room here, and what you guys are seeing on the stream tonight, I moved by myself. I did have a neighbor help me with some of the things, but a lot of this stuff I've moved by myself. And if I had to, I probably could have moved all of it by myself, just using a dolly. And with real arcades, it's just a lot more involved. There's a lot more work carrying around those, hundreds of pound arcade machines where these weigh, 60, 70 pounds. So it's just different. I would love to have real arcades. I just don't have the room for them. And until I buy a home and I know I'm set in the place I'll be living for, 10, 20 years, I'm probably not going to invest in anything that large, that heavy. Video Game Vegas says, I have Numbskulls, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Space Invaders Part 2, TMNT, Zookeeper, Polybius, and Burger Time. Such great machines. I'm looking to get Lunar Lander next. That's awesome. It's a good collection. And, just talking about these smaller arcades, and I kind of wanted to give a shout out to this friend of mine, part of the community. And you guys have probably checked him out before, but I kind of want to give him a shout out, not only because I want to share his picture, but I just think it's cool what he's doing every Sunday morning. He's doing these builds of these buildicades, and these are so cool to watch and to follow up on. But every Sunday he does a new one. And this was the one he did this week, was Popeye. So Nintendo Popeye with Joe Zabo's artwork. And I just thought that's so cool looking. I'd love to get into these Buildicades and start doing what he's doing here. And he live streams these every Sunday, so you can actually watch him putting them together. And it's a lot of fun to watch and hang out with him while he's doing it. But go check him out. The Quarter Deck Arcade. And he's been doing these now for a little while. And he's built himself quite the collection. He did Gorf last week. He did Frogger. He did Donkey Kong. So these are cool. And just kind of going off of your chat here, Video Game Vegas, talking about these small miniature arcades. I just thought that was cool to give Quarter Deck a shout out for what he's doing with the Buildicades. Those are another cool product to get in that size, smaller size. Papa Brad's Gaming says they will go up most likely because of tariffs, and they all come from China. Yeah, that's really going to hold AtGames to those higher prices, I should say, is that they're coming from China. So anything that's made in America in the next probably 4 years or longer, that's where you're going to get better prices. Anything, normally we get real good prices on stuff that comes from China because it's so cheap to manufacture it there. But now with the tariffs and everything that's going to be going into effect, it's going to kind of be the opposite, where if you see that made in America, that's probably going to be your lower prices coming up. So it's interesting how that's all going to shift and that's going to change. But ultimately, that's good for our economy. That's good for our country going forward. It's going to suck for a little while because we're not getting that really good stuff from China for cheap. But in the long run, we're going to get better quality stuff. We're going to benefit and drive the economy here locally in our own country. Thumper Squid says, GeForce guy, I'm going to get the Switch 2 on day one. That's another thing to bring up as well, guys, is, going into the Switch 2 release that's coming up in the next few months is I'm going to have to get one. I've got the Switch, I've got the Switch Lite, and I like playing them, but man, they're so old now. Came out in 2018, 7-8 years old. It's just getting to the point where it's not as enjoyable. I'm ready to get the Switch 2, get something new, get something with some better features, better graphics, and I'm hopeful that Nintendo is finally going to get back into VR. If you guys remember, on the top of the new unit, the new Switch 2, there's a USB-C input on the top, as well as already having this is in addition to the USB-C it already had. So what that means to me is that is a hookup or an input for a VR headset. And how it's going to look, how it's going to play, I don't quite know. But that's my thought on what's going to be coming. And what's going to be really exciting about the Switch 2 is the VR. And are they going to call it the Virtual Boy? That would be really cool too. Really bring back that nostalgia for us that remember the Virtual Boy. So William Mitchell is here. He is saying Time Crisis $4.69, eBay seller Spreetel, President's Day coupon ends tomorrow. So that is awesome. Let's take a look at that. That is a really good deal. And you get that coupon, bringing it down. See if I can find it. Time Crisis at eBay. I see it for $5.73. Let's see. So let's see. I see it for $5.73 from Spreetel Deals. I don't know if Spreetel and Spreetel Deals are going to be the same seller. But there may be a coupon involved with this as well that you guys can get that price down to $4.69. You have to let us know in the chat what is that coupon code if you need one. But yeah, Time Crisis is a cool cabinet. I mean, it's a shooting cabinet. I still don't have a shooter cabinet. I have my iArcade, which I've got the send-in light gun for. I've also got the Ultimate Legends, which I can do OTG mode with a small PC which I've got Retro Lizards build on a hard drive, portable hard drive, so I can play Time Crisis on my Legends Ultimate. But to have a dedicated cabinet like this, I would love to have in my game room. Just not at full price or close to full price. I would want to get this at $350, $400. And you're right there at $469. You're right there to where I would almost be interested in pulling the trigger on this. They could just get it less than $399. I think that's what's key. GeForce Guy says, Thumper, that is 100% guaranteed for me too. Papa Brad says, I just beat an arcade owner in Robotron 2084. I did check out Papa Brad's content this weekend. He was at Wayback's Arcade in Louisiana. That looked like such a cool event that you went to this weekend, Papa Brad. We have an arcade kind of like that. I don't think it's as cool as Wayback's though, but it's called Starfighters Arcade, and they've been doing a lot of events out there. The only deal for that is I'm in the West Valley, and that's way on the East Valley on the other side of town. It takes like an hour and 15 minutes to get there. So it's hard to get over there, but I need to do that soon and get some video content. Maybe go when they're doing a get-together like what they had at Waybacks this weekend. Thumper Squid saying the X Arcade VR is the way to go. That's another thing, talking about that Legends Gamer Pro, getting the pedestal, getting a new TV flat screen, putting it up, having like a pedestal style arcade setup is that X Arcade. It is expensive though. It's like $500-$600, but that would definitely be better than the Legends Gamer Pro, I think. And the Legends Gamer Pro, it's like $250, and then you get the pedestal. That it adds probably another couple $100 or $150. You're pretty much at the price of the X Arcade, and you can play VR with it. So you're right there, Thumper Squid. X Arcade, that's something we're going to need to cover more on this channel coming up, is that X Arcade, because you are right about that. Right on the money. Pete G says, are we ball busting again, Brad? LOL. What did Brad say? Uh-oh. So, you guys will have to tell me what he said. I can't read all the chats right now. I'd like to keep up with all of them, but I'm not able to read them all. Brooklyn Minna says, I wish I could hide on the AtGames leaderboards because I suck, but at least I'm having fun playing. Yeah, the leaderboards are tough. You guys got some extremely high scores out there, and it is tough to get up on those leaderboards for sure. Ray's here saying, hey guys, he has one of the best looking 4KPs I've seen out there. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Looks amazing. Ted Adam Green is here saying, Pete, a.k.a. Quarterdeck, is the real deal. Absolutely. So happy to give him a shout out and show off those Build-A-Cades because I love his content and what he's doing. He just looks really happy, too, when he's doing those streams. And I was like, man, maybe I need to get some Build-A-Cades so I can get some of that. All right, so let's get in next, guys. I want to talk about New Wave Toys. So New Wave Toys is always exciting for me to talk about because I've started a pretty nice collection. I've got the Zoltar. I've got the Frenzy, and you guys can't see it here, but got this little shelf, and you can see it now, Ghost and Goblins. So I've got a nice little shelf going, and I just got the Artemat, which I'm going to unbox and put on that shelf. That's going to power all of them. It's going to have USB power where I can pretty much power all of mine from one device, which is that Artemat. So that is really cool, which I'll be adding to my collection, unboxing here probably this week. But let's take a look at New Wave Toys website. So they've actually been re-releasing stuff that they've already released before. Zoltar. So Zoltar is available again. And they said they're going to keep re-releasing this Zoltar. They're going to, it's going to be available. So it is available right now at $149. I did see a deal this week as well where you guys can get like a promo code and maybe save some money on that. Let me see what that was. Again, guys, I did not come prepared tonight like I normally do. But let's take a look here at New Wave Toys promotion. because I saw it come through. Here it is. Let's see. Get this up on the screen for y'all. So good day, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day from New Wave Toys VIPs. Enjoy saving 10% off site-wide. So anything you want to get on the website right now is 10% off. You're going to use the code LOVE10. And then you can save 10% off the Smoking Hot USB vending machine, which brings it down to $71.99. They're also promoting these stools. I saw 19K Fox drop a video on these stools. I don't think I'm going to go out and get these. I like the arcades, but I don't do really the action figures or have a need for the little stools. Here's a good deal on your Zoltar. So don't miss today's Blacklight special. Save 25% on your Zoltar fortune-telling machine with Fortune 25. Save 25% off. Sell ends 2/19 at 6 p.m. while supplies last. So you guys can get a really good deal on a Zoltar right now at 25% off. I think it's a good time to move on one of these. These are awesome little toys. Love mine. Love the look of it. Just adds that extra little, look to your arcade, your miniature arcade. Very cool product. I would say this was the home arcade product of 2024. It's hard to say that because it's so small. It's not really like a arcade that you play, but I think this was a home run. They hit it out of the park with this. And they're going to keep re-releasing them, and you can get 25% off of it right now. Incredible. They got the stools, $20. So the cigarette machine, $79.99. You can get that 10% off. Change machine as well. Now the Artomat, which is what I got, I think it's sold out now. Yeah, so it's gone. But this is what I'll be unboxing and putting on my shelf here very soon to power my Replicades. And news is that Golden Tee, the Replicade, is very close. I did see a video get dropped this week, actually, where they're showing additional video of the Golden Tee, and that has been after a very long period of time. We're talking 6 to 8 months it's been since we've seen or heard from New Wave Toys on this Golden Tee. So for them to come back out and to release more content here recently leads me to believe that this is very close. So let's take a look at their YouTube so we can see that video and what that looks like. Because I have actually not even watched it myself, but I did see the video drop. So here it is. And wait for this commercial to go by so you guys don't have to see that. But here it is. So it's going to have Glenn's trackball in there with the arcade game deck. They're calling it the Real Arcade Stick. And this is going to be just like the Crystal Castles, which will come after it, which will have this almost full-size trackball with a game deck, which has enough room for your hand to actually play Golden Tee, play Crystal Castles. So definitely go check that out. This is going to be coming here very soon, I think. They haven't actually officially announced when it's going to release, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be here very soon in the next couple of weeks, maybe first, second week of March. You know, we're getting into almost spring now. Spring training for baseball is about to start here next week here in Arizona and in Florida. Spring break's coming up, and I think they need to get this out. Their window of opportunity to get this Golden Tee out in a reasonable amount of time is getting very small by the day. You know, it's like they really got to get this out. So seeing that video 5 days ago, I think we have an announcement coming any day on the Golden Tee. And then knowing that, We know that Crystal Castles was announced shortly after Golden Tee, so that should be coming right after. And, of these two, I told you guys I don't really pre-order, so I haven't put in a pre-order for any of this yet. But if I had to pick, one of these two that are about to come out, I'm probably going to get the Crystal Castles. And being that I already have a light-up trackball similar to this on my arcade, and I have one on my AtGames, I'm probably not going to get the real arcade trackball stick bundle. It's just super expensive, and I don't really need that control. So I'll probably just get the Replicade, and I'll get the Crystal Castles. I just love the artwork on this one. I love the game. And it's just such a amazing looking cabinet design that this is probably going to be the one that I go out and get. And hopefully this is coming right after Golden Tee. Within, a few weeks after the Golden Tee release, we'll see Crystal Castles. And then Black Hole. I had put Black Hole on the thumbnail tonight because we haven't heard much about Black Hole. We did hear a few months back about the Williams. They're going to be bringing Williams tables, not just the Gottlieb. But Black Hole is one there. The people have already put their pre-order in. People have already paid for their units. And I just think that this, again, is another release that they have very little time, I think, to reasonably get it out in a reasonable amount of time. Is they got to get it out in spring. So in the next month, in the next 2 months, March, April at the latest April. And this is $299. Now, if you pre-ordered, you definitely got a deal on it. But, would I pay $299 for a Black Hole mini pin that's not playable, but it looks, sounds, and almost, makes you think that this is the real thing, just that it's so tiny. It may win me over once these actually release and I start seeing the reviews and seeing, my FOMO may get me to the point where I end up getting one of these. I just think close up, visually, it just looks so cool. It looks like the real thing. So, and I think that's the fun part about collecting these. And I think that's the great part about, collecting them as, something that could potentially go up in value is just how realistic these are and how good of a job the attention to detail that they do on them really comes through. And it would be hard, if these look and play and sound great to not get one. So we'll see what these are going to, what the release windows are going to look like for these. But I think Golden Tee, we're very close. Next couple weeks. Crystal Castles, maybe a month, 2 months. And then hopefully, by the summertime, we're getting mini pen. And then as far as new releases, we haven't heard about any other new releases. There were some hints at possibly other cabinets coming this year, but we haven't heard anything yet other than these timeout play sets, which, I wasn't too high on, not too excited about were these play sets. Because I'm not big into the action figures, not big into the display. I'm happy just having the shelf and collecting them that way and just putting them on the shelf, having them powered on when I'm playing my other arcades. So, not big into the action figures and the whole visual of setting up the miniature arcade. Just putting them on the shelf, I'm happy with that. But this is pretty much it for the news, guys. I wanted to hit on Arcade 1-Up. I wanted to hit on AtGames. And I wanted to hit on New Wave Toys, but without very much prep time, without having slides or anything much visual, just using websites to kind of guide me through our discussion tonight. But next, what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to show you guys my arcade and what I'm doing with that as I'm setting up here. So let's try and do that. Let's try and do that and make the sound good where you guys can hear me still. So let's see here. All right, so there we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute the mic here on the computer, and I'm going to unmute the mic on my phone, which is looking at the arcades right now. And you guys are going to have to tell me, can you hear me? So let's check. All right. So you guys could not hear me. You couldn't hear me. All right. Well, that's a bummer. I wanted to show you guys what I was doing here. Um, Let me see if I can check my settings here. Oh, I know why. Can you guys hear me now? Video Game Vegas says he's going to be sick. Tell me if you guys can hear me now. All right. You guys should be able to hear me. Yes. Okay. You can hear me. Okay. And you can hear me on the phone, hopefully. All right. So this is what I'm doing here. I've got my Miss Pac-Man. Bought this at Target for 75 bucks. Got it here at the top of the shelf. Go down here. This is my Zoltar unit. I got it for review. Had a problem with the chain. I was able to get the chain over the chest. Still have not released my review video. I've been really slacking on that, but I got to do it. I also paid for the extra roll of tickets because obviously there's only so many tickets, and then you're going to be out of them if you keep pulling them, tearing them. So I got an extra roll, and these are cheap too. So definitely get yourself an extra roll whenever you can. Uh, don't hear any games though. JT Games said, "Yeah, I have some of this stuff. Like most of it, I don't have it plugged in yet. Really, the only thing I've got plugged in so far is this one because it's so small and easy, and then my marquees. But I'll be getting everything else plugged in here over the week. By next week, I should have it all done. So this is all my screws. So these are the screws that go into the game deck. So you get 4 that go into the game deck. I just put them all in this little baggie here. Um, some of these I think are to my AtGames Legends Ultimate, and then also to my pinball. But I'll put them in a baggie so I don't lose any of them. Because what I do is when I move them, I take the game decks out. It just makes it a little bit lighter and easier to move if you take the game deck out. And it's super easy to take out. It's just 4 screws and it pops right out. And also less chance of breaking or damaging the plexiglass overlay that way. So then I got Frenzy down here, Ghost and Goblins here, and I can double them up. So I can put 2 on each shelf. And then I'll get another similar shelf like this and put it right there or down there. So then I got my Marvel superheroes. This one's modded with a Raspberry Pi, similar to what they're going to have in the new Iconic Arcade, except this is a Raspberry Pi 4, and what they're putting in the Iconic Arcade is the Raspberry Pi 5. But this little subwoofer here goes into my modded arcade for my speakers. That kind of amplifies the stock speakers a little more. And other than that, this, I drilled the holes for the coin buttons. I've got just the stock riser, the cheap one you can get from Walmart. And then I've got like an end table that you can get from Walmart, which adds a little bit more. And then I've got these little um, furniture risers, like 3-inch furniture risers. But I think they make these in like 4 or 5 inches now. So I wouldn't need the end table piece anymore with the new ones they have available. And then I've got the Marvel versus Capcom Clash of the Superheroes wall marquee, which I really like, and it goes really well right under the Marvel Superheroes. Got the Killer Instinct with the Joe Zabos marquee replacement, slip-on marquee. I did change out the buttons. I do not have the concave. I've got the convex buttons that I added. Still the same color that they should have been, the blue. And this one, It's a little taller, so the game deck is a little taller on the Killer Instinct. It's height wise, it's the same, but the game deck's a little higher. So I don't need the bottom piece, that table, this end table piece. I can just set it on the 3-inch furniture risers, and it's enough. I still have not done the coin door light up. I just don't know how big of a fan I am of drilling. I didn't really even like drilling these holes here. So I don't know if I want to do that with this one or not. Sometimes I kind of even regret modding this. I kind of wish I would have just kept it stock sometimes. But then there's times where I'm sitting here and I'm playing some of the games on here, and I really enjoy this cabinet design for those games. Like this Gen 1, Gen 2 game deck and this cabinet design, it wasn't the best looking, but for playability and like your hands and your wrists, it's actually a really good cabinet to be a multicade. I do have a lot of fun, and like the artwork on this game deck, it's like the comic book strip and all that, and the bezel comic book strip. It's a really cool multicade. So I guess I am happy that I did it. Final fight. I never did the marquee light up marquee. I would have liked to have done that at some point, and maybe someday I will. I do love the bezel on the final fight. It was just such a great bezel. Definitely a lot you can tell was done by John D. Like you can tell the cabinets that John D had a really big part in, and the ones that he didn't have a big part in. And it's stuff like this bezel, that shows you he played a part in it. And then the good thing about the final fight is it's only got the two buttons. It's just got the attack and the jump. So it's really fun and great for just like hand wrist area to play this. Like I love playing Final Fight on it. I used to love playing Ghost and Goblins on it, but Ghost and Goblins is such a tough game. It really, can be frustrating sometimes. I haven't really gotten back into playing that a ton on here, but I love Final Fight. And Strider, I don't play a ton of. 1944, I beat, and I don't really play that much anymore. My Miss Pac-Man in black, I did do the Joe Zabo's slip-on marquee replacement. Love the Midway, love the Ballet logo in there. It looks really good. And again, it has a unique game deck with the Pac-Man, and just having the single joystick in the middle, it gives me that experience on this cabinet. So I think the Pac-Man's always a great cabinet to have in your arcade. At least have one of them, because of the single joystick in the middle, the playability of just having that game deck and how different it is than the other game decks. And this is one where they had added the coin door, even on the classic. The new classics that are coming out, they went back to the stickered coin door with the logos. But back when I bought this, their classics had the coin door. So glad I got one when I did. And then again, you can see these. I did the classic, riser with the tables, the end tables, and the 3-inch risers. And then something else I've been doing is I've been putting the cords, because I was trying to get through all the cords today. I've been putting them under each one so I know which one goes to which. And if you guys remember these, like the Gen 1, Gen 2, they had this design. And then when they went to like the Gen 3 and the Gen 4, they went to this design here. If you guys remember, it was just like that kind of plug. And let me see here if the chat is still going. Hopefully you guys can still see me. It says that I'm still live, so hopefully I still am. Let me see. Yeah, it says I'm still live. All right, cool. All right. But I can't see y'all's chats right now, unfortunately. So this is my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade one-up. Out of all my arcade one-ups, this has been my favorite so far. I got this for $350. It's got a killer lineup on it. It's got all the Marvel vs. Capcom games as well as even Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which doesn't play great online, but single player, it's really fun to play. And if you guys notice like how much more it sticks out than these other arcades, when looking at them, it sticks way out. It's got this game deck, which is like much different, slanted, and I really like it. It's even though it's got the riser, it's not the deluxe. It's got the artwork on the riser. And again, this one's a little bit taller, so it doesn't need the end table at the bottom. But then talking about those power cables, like when they got to this model, they even got smaller with the power cable. Power brick is even tinier. So that is my Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And then here, got my X-Men versus Street Fighter marquee, wall marquee. And then my iArcade, my modded iArcade. Now this is like my baby. I love this thing. Here's the screws that are going to go in to hold the bar top to its base. I've got the power cable up here as well as the extra cables I needed for the mystery encoder mod. So it's all here. I've just got to put it together, plug everything in. Here's another power cable that goes to power Glenn's ultimate control panel. But I can hook up my send-in light gun to this. It sounds good. And I've kind of got like an area where I can stand back here. So if I want to shoot, send-in light gun games, I can do that in this area pretty well. Also, I feel like in this corner too, by itself, it's like a great area to like just do some gaming, do some multi-cade gaming with the iArcade. So that's the arcade room where we're at right now, which is where we're streaming. Put all this up here, kind of help with the sound and stuff. This is where I'm streaming at. Let me check, make sure we're still good to go on the stream. Because I have a chat box which shows me what you guys are saying, but it went away on my screen. Okay, Shotgun Sean says, Biggie, your screen ain't that biggie. No power cables. Gate switchers. Okay, so we're good to go. iArcade is king, baby, Video Game Vegas says. All right, so what I'm going to show you guys next is my living room. So this room we're in here, before it was open to the living room. Now this is like an enclosed room. There's like a door frame around this room. So like if I come out here, now during the stream, I've left that door open. I'm thinking sometimes I'm going to stream with that door closed to see if maybe the sound is better whenever I do that. We'll try it and see what sounds better. But like that's my game room, my streaming room. And then in here is my living room. This is my Attack from Mars. I still have not put the back box back on. The back box is sitting down here. And when I moved it, it was just easier to take the back box off because it's only a couple screws. And that's a lot of your weight right there. So by just removing that, me and one other friend that lives here in the complex were able to carry this to the truck and into here. No problems. Didn't even have to take the legs off of it because I wasn't driving very far. I was just driving a couple of streets over. So I left the legs on it, just took the back box off. Also with this, I've decased the monitor. So it overheated on me. The old one, PCB overheated, bought a new PCB. I decased it, took it out of that metal case so it could breathe a little bit better. Now it's been playing no issues. It probably will never overheat now. So that is the Attack from Mars. Again, I really want to get that AtGames 4KP, but just to hold me over for a little while until I can get one. This has been great. It's been a lot of fun just to every once in a while turn it on, play some Zen pinball, And so here's my living room. As you guys know, like here's my Quest headset right here, my Quest 3S. Been playing that a ton. Here is my PSVR 2 still in the box. I haven't even hooked up my PlayStation 5 yet, but when I do, I'll be playing PSVR 2. So VR's been really taking a lot of my time lately. I'm really into VR now. I haven't really done much flat screen gaming since I've experienced PSVR 2 and since I've experienced the Quest. So something I've been really focused on is giving myself a lot of available room in my living room for VR. So pretty much what I can do is I can make a border from here all the way here, all the way here, here. And that this whole area is my VR space now. So I have a pretty good area I can move around and not hit anything, and do VR. And that's something you'll understand when you get a VR headset and you start playing VR is space is important. More space, the better because you're waving your hands around, you're moving around, you're doing all kinds of stuff. And you just want a big empty area to do that in. So this floor plan I'm in is a little bit bigger than my last one by a little bit, but it makes all the difference because it's a little wider. So now I can have more room for VR. Also, I had my Legends Ultimate right here in my last apartment, and I put the Legends Ultimate upstairs. So now it's up there, and I'll just be doing that, Legends Ultimate gaming up there now. But that's it. That's the apartment. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Is I've been moving all this stuff, getting it all set up, getting the computer set up so I can stream and all that. So wanted to show it off to everybody. And now I'm going to get back to the computer. All right. So you guys should hear me now. Um, you guys should hear me now. Hopefully, you guys were able to see that and everything that I was doing because I just noticed the website was up. So hopefully, you guys were seeing all that when I was showing it to you. Also, my chat on Restream went out, so I'm not even able to see you guys and what you guys are saying. But let's get caught up here on the chat. JT Games is saying can't see you. Yeah. Fix the camera view, pal. Okay, I'm gonna fix the camera view, so you guys can see everything we just went through. All right. So let me fix that, and let's try that again. All right. All right. So we just went through everything, but I kind of want to show you guys here on the big screen because we didn't get to see that last time. So there's my Countercade, Miss Pac-Man, Zoltar, Frenzy, Ghost and Goblins, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom Wall Marquee, Killer Instinct, Final Fight, Miss Pac-Man, Street Fighter 2 Wall Marquee, Pac-Man Wall Marquee, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, iArcade here in the corner gets the best spot. X-Men versus Street Fighter Wall Marquee. And here's my VR space right here. This whole area right here will be for VR. Attack from Mars Pinball, Ultimate Legends upstairs to make more room for VR. So that's it. Sorry, guys, I had the wrong camera on. You guys weren't able to see all that on the big screen. All right, I am back, guys. You guys should be able to hear me on here. Cool. And I've got that muted as well. JJ says the mic next to you isn't on. We can barely hear you from some of the other mic nearby. No, shaky cam again. Shotgun Sean says, too bad One Up didn't keep putting out those marquees. He likes them. Yeah, these marquees are awesome. These wall marquees. I really wish they'd keep making these because they're so cool. Just really adds that vibe, that that look you want for your home arcade. Like you guys can see how much extra light is in this room with those. B. Kirby says, nice. Shotgun Shun says, nice tour, Biggie. Video Game Vegas says, great setup. Also says, Mike is quiet. Pump up the volume. Way better than Time Crisis anyway. So that was a lot of fun. Good to hang out with everybody. It's been a tough, few weeks. I don't know how close all my viewers are to the rest of the community and, home arcade in general, or if you guys, do a lot of the social stuff like Discord, things like that. But last few weeks have been kind of rough. I kind of got treated really poorly by a large group of people within the home arcade community, and I've kind of since distanced myself from them since then. Pretty much blocked all their messages to where I can't see messages from them anymore. But it's really good to see so many people in the chat, so many supporters, people that just enjoy home arcade gaming, enjoy VR gaming, that just want to be a part of that and be, in the chat, hanging out. It's just good to see that, because sometimes when, you get treated poorly by some people, you start, thinking, well, everyone's against you at that point. And it's not, that's really not the case. It's this group of people that treated me poorly is just really just a very small portion of what makes up home arcade gaming in general as a community. And it's just really good to see everyone out there in the chat, hanging out, having a good time, wanting to be, a part of this. And I also really enjoy, watching everybody else that's got channels out there too that likes to share their home arcade gaming life. So it's good to see everybody. Also look forward to whatever you guys have coming out soon. Papa Brad, Shotgun Sean, G-Force Guy, all the channels out there, Rexer Show. Good to see you guys out there. So, that's pretty much going to wrap it up tonight. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in Dallas next week. So I leave Thursday night on a plane to go see my parents, my family back in Dallas. So I will be out of town next Sunday. But what I was thinking about is, since I've already got my setup here at the new apartment, is just doing like a stream during the week to kind of make up for the weekend that I'm going to miss on next Sunday. So maybe this week or maybe next week during the week, we're going to have an extra stream where we're going to hopefully have some news, some exciting news to talk about. If not, we'll be here just streaming about whatever that we want to talk about, or doing more tours, or maybe just doing some live stream gaming. But we'll be back very soon, and I'll make up for this upcoming next Sunday because I won't be here. I'll be out of town, but I will be doing a stream to make up for that. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday night. I hope you guys have a good start to your week tomorrow morning. Also, if you guys have Quest headsets, let's get online right now. Let's play some mini golf. Give me about like 15 minutes to get prepped, to get my headset on and everything. But I want to do some mini golf tonight. And we'll call the room tonight. Let's call the room tonight Biggie D. So if you guys have Walkabout Mini Golf and you have a Quest 3, 3S, Quest 2, and you, or even a PSVR 2, and you have Walkabout Mini Golf, come hang out. Let's get in 18 holes tonight. And the room name will be Biggie D with 4 G's. So come hang out. And I will see everyone in the next one. I'll be in VR the rest of tonight. And you guys have a great start to your week. See y'all in the next one. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.